time to get to work. Let's do it.
All right. So, what I wanted to start with is this one, EVLV.
EVLV?
Yeah, EVLV. That's a new one for me.
Yeah, I don't think I've heard of this one.
So they manufacture and develop security screening products, artificial intelligence based security. Anything AI at all is really
Yeah.
hot in the flow right now. Probably because of that all the news about the chat bot passing the medical exam or whatever. But so all right, so the flow here is really stands out. I've got 421 5C and 317 5C. They're just kind of piling into that. Caveat here is that the strikes are those 2.5, 5, and
Yeah.
7.5. But it's kind of like it's a little bit like EVTL in that regard, where I see enough of a push in it, and it's kind of close enough at 3 to make that flow plausible. Probably plausible for a move to 4 is sort of what I'm after with it, though.
Yeah, I just put one line on the chart. I'm gonna look bigger time frame. 375 is what I pulled up. I want to look at it on a little bigger picture. It's kind of gappy after that, to be honest with you, P. Like
Yeah,
it's got some room. Yeah, it's got room if we clears 375. If we don't reject 375, um, the next shelf on the big time frame, excuse me, is 6.
oh wow, yeah.
A lot of consolidation at 10. What do we got for book value here? $2 on the book value. But I mean that doesn't mean much. You want your entry closer to there. Um,
And and in terms of the contracts, I honestly would probably go with July 5C because it's $25 and April 5C is $15. So for $10 more, you get that extra time, and it'll do just as well if we get the move that we're looking for.
yeah, this looks like it has earnings soon or some kind of 3-1.
Uh, yeah, I've got earnings on March 1st. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So that would be. I think as long as you buy, excuse me, if you buy this under 3, especially the way the weekly looks right now on that 3, um,
Yeah.
really good play, really good play. If I was gonna pick a downside number, it'd be this far back here, like 280. 280 is probably the lowest you should get. Um, if you're looking for the good higher low setup. Yeah, I like this a lot.
Yeah.
I like a little low volume, but if you're playing cheap options, not a bad play at all.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, if you go July, you just kind of don't have to actively manage it as much. You just sort of wait for the move. All right. So next up for me
It's a
is
hundred. It's a
Go
hundred.
EV.
It's 100 share play, Professor. It's like the 100 share
Yeah.
play here. Set it and forget it.
Yeah, I like that sizing for sure.
Go EV.
Um, Go EV. Yep.
We already got that one.
All right. Is it on our list already?
Yeah, not EV Go. Go EV.
Go EV.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
I had
Yeah.
it. I had it 2 weeks ago. You came back last week with it. We're still at $1.35 this week. I still love it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah.
I
No, I
still
do
loved
too.
it.
And in fact, I put in the Leap channel. It's in the money, but 1C in terms of risk reward is huge because you're probably going to double those if you buy
Yeah,
those,
yeah.
in my opinion.
You don't have.
But
What's the numbers on this? Are we 50? I can. I mean, I should just look. Are we 50 cents or are we?
3, it's probably going to 3.
No, no, no,
Oh,
no.
the numbers of on the contracts. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it goes down to 1. I think is 1 is the
Oh, so this is yeah.
lowest one.
So when I looked at this, explain this to me because there's an easy explanation, and a lot of people. I'm back to asking more stupid questions because people ain't asking stupid questions. Um,
Yeah.
why do the weeklies stop at 250? Because I was looking for threes and fours, but the monthlies go to like 10.
Yeah. So it's basically when they decide to release new strikes on something, like they don't go back and like they'll set a date for for when they'll do those because they want to release things that people are actually gonna buy.
Bye.
So
Yeah.
when once this starts to get moving a bit, they'll be like, okay, we're gonna write some higher strikes here and try to kind
Okay.
of bring people in because nobody was gonna buy you know 3, 4, 5C when it was down at like $1. Um, so yeah, whatever the market makers are doing, like they just make that decision on which strikes to write out.
Does it make the reads different? Like, do you take that into consideration? Is what I mean. Like, do you say, okay, this doesn't have the high end on the weeklies. I only have monthly flows above five, so when I'm looking at that flow above five or above four, I have to look at it
Yeah, I
different.
mean it does. There are stocks where like only have monthly options, and then obviously I'll take that into account. Something like Go EV, it's that in the money push, like where they're going to exercise those at one. That's kind of the most significant thing that stands out. Something like I don't care that much about flow that's 100, 200, 300% above, unless it has that firm foundation
Yeah.
on the lower stuff. So the way out of the money strikes, never the first thing that I look at. On some stocks, it's more significant, like coin, where it's plausible. When it was down at 35, the 50 calls, I'm like, it's probably going to get back there at some point. But yeah, for most stuff, I look closer in the money,
Okay.
and
That makes
then look
sense.
for them to kind of walk that up. Yeah.
So it's just like you just basically got to treat it like one that only has monthly options in general.
Yeah. Yeah.
That makes sense. That
Yeah.
makes sense. Um, I have three here. I love this. This is kind of like a read my notes, listen to professor, watch the video, or I mean, this is like the lay down trade for me. It really is really low risk.
Yeah, and it's got it's enough of a name and a following and a history to have these big spikes. Like it's in the past gone from 250 to 5 in a day, I think. So it's
Yeah,
definitely one that you want to be in this kind of sector.
yeah. We were 270,
Okay, cool. So
gapped up to 350, ended up almost five one day. So
yeah.
it was a one day. Yeah, good stuff.
All right. So next up for me, double check that we didn't have this one.
I had two stocks wrote down, SoFi and Go EV, like they're going in my notes no matter what list. So good,
Oh, nice.
good
Yeah.
start.
Had we taken fetch off?
No, but it's
Because I
on
want
my it's on my read the room list.
because I definitely want to get in on that.
Yeah, let's do it. What now? Let's do
On
it.
the hot list. Yeah, yeah. So okay, so we nailed this one as about as close to the bottom as you can get on it, and it's just been massive. Like we're 4 to 7 now at this point,
Yeah.
and but I think there's much more here, and I've got 421 10C. I've got um, let's see, yeah, I've got July 12 and 13s as well. So I think that's probably going to happen. Not sure on pullbacks or anything, but kind of looking for it to just get in this 8 to, well, maybe Slate, I guess. Yeah, like 8 to 10 sort of zone. Um, Kind of seems like where the flow is going. But that 10C is pretty definitive for April, so that's what got me into it.
I don't have a line there, but the 758 is your volume profiles 1 to 3 year. I got the line on 650. Kind of a little bit more respect. 659. Kind of a little more respected area in my opinion. Perfect spot if we are going to pull back. But the 10 is it. The 10's always been it.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, no, perfect time. I'm starting. I got a new little like notation when we're both on things that I'm like saying these are like these are the ones, and this is getting it this week. I probably should put one on Go EV too, but um, yeah, don't another one. Previous winner, it all lines up again. Same setup. For me, it's buying the sixes.
And next up for me is Fresh Pet, FRPT, coming back for this one. Originally caught this one back in the 40s and had that crazy run, the 60 and then all the way up to 68. Looking like it's heading back to 70. So this is a more kind of a more modest target. Still a pretty big move, but it just has 70 tests written all over it in the flow. 217 70C is the one.
Yeah, 68-38 one line chart from the last time we played it. Your 53 to 47 is your volume profiles. That's like perfect add from shares. So share side, we are a little bit overextended from here unless we're going to confirm and go through that level. If you had 75s, it would be a good spot. But if this dips back into the high 50s, that's a good spot to take it, that $10 move.
Yeah, so I basically how I would characterize this, and I do have I got May 85s and I got
Okay, there
Luke's
you
to
go.
90. So
Yeah.
so that setup is there. Those aren't overwhelming. The one that stands out is this 70 70C for 217. And okay, so this just to give an example. So this contract is trading at around 170 dollars or so. So like I might buy one, it pulls back a bit. I buy a second one at like 140 or something like that. And then what I'm looking for, move to 70, those go to $300. That's the
Yes.
that's the idea. And you go into it with like if I'm gonna have two or three contracts, the max I'm willing to lose is $75, $100 or something, for a potential profit of $200-$300.
Yep.
That's what you do going into it. You don't try to diamond hand it down to $52 or something like
Yeah.
that. Don't really see that happening. But just you get it when you're in options. You go ahead and get a starter in case like the momentum's just going to go ahead and carry it, and then I'll just keep the one. Or I have a plan. I'm going to buy one here, one on the pullback, and then we go. And then if you don't go, you cut it loose. That's the idea.
Yeah, the
Okay.
setup here is strong on the 70, and it just seems, and I mean something I'm picking up the more we do this is that when you approach a support and resistance that's going to flip, and it's not going to flip in a day, right? It's not going to run through it.
Yeah.
The options become more prevalent. Like they're going to be more active and tradable on that shorter range. You see it with like Monster at 100. Um, because people do want to control shares. Bigger fish want to control shares there. So why that game is going on during the consolidation around the price. The options are better to play. It's when we
Yeah.
do confirm that level, and then we can play up off that level that the shares become better. Which is how a lot of our plays set up. You're just way early on the options, and then oh wait, this is gonna finally go, and you're like, you don't say it as overzealous as I do, but you're definitely like adamant that hey, there's a bigger price target all of a sudden, and that's just kind of I think that's the ebb and flow of the options share side around these consolidation points that we're picking up on.
Yeah, and in terms of volume, everybody like they focus on Tesla and billions of dollars of volume every day, and and that's how you play that, and that's fine. But like fresh pet, if this gets up to that 70 level, and some whale puts $20,000 on 85C for
Yes.
519,
Yes.
that's all it takes. That's all it takes. And so that's one of the reasons I really like the like mid cap options. Is small caps at a certain level, shares are just it's just better to do shares. But these mid cap options like this, and I found so many of them now,
Mm-hmm.
that it doesn't take a lot in the flow, and you sometimes you can see it's the same whale over and over again just by the stripes they buy. That happens with Billy all the time. So it's a small group of people or funds or whoever that can move these, and it's easier to spot than Apple Flow or something like
They're us,
that.
but a little bit bigger.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Yeah, I buy two, they buy 2,000.
Yeah, yeah. But the same
Um,
stocks, the same
the
stocks.
same the
That's
same
the point
stocks,
of
and
that.
I buy the same and the same strikes that they buy. Like trade like a whale. That's always been
Yeah, there's a
um,
big ass
my
shark
thing.
out there eating, and we're just eating the crumbs off the side. But you're eating the same
Yeah,
food. You're eating the same food.
exactly. All right, so next up for me, GME.
Really
Yeah,
interesting.
this one's for Goose.
We got a new name for this.
What's that?
14 or 1944. That's its name.
Okay, nice.
I gave Goose that
Very nice.
level like 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, and boy, I think it opened her eyes a little bit that Unk's levels are all right.
So so there's a couple of reasons that I like this. Now, GME, the opposite of Fresh Pet, is very complicated with everything they do with options and the ETFs and all that. But it was from about 11:15 through the rest of the day, you had this huge volume spike in calls. The put to call ratio dropped to 0.28, and that was over one like a while ago. So I mean, it's a pretty dramatic kind of bullish flip here. And what I like this for is just that day trader volatility. And I have flow to um, 2330C, which is a contract that is way out of the money, but because of the IV on this, you can actually play that. It's about $20, and I don't know that that's going to go in the money or anything like that. But I do like this to make a move to 25 this week. I think we do get that.
Yeah, I just like to chart charts. 1944, 1944. I can go tag it in the chat when I dropped it, but um, I don't know why. That's a level. They love it. Um, I still have 30, and I haven't updated this in a long time, P, but I still have
Yeah,
39.74, so kind of the 40 range. But that's enough meat to play just to the 30s. I mean, you're still 50% off this 20 level, so um,
yes, and you actually so this is one that it has to be. It gets complicated in terms of the math behind it and everything. But you can actually take a leap way out of the money and day trade it like a weekly. And this is something that um, like Goose did on Revlon is kind of the one that comes to mind. But let me just give you an example here. So there's a lot of activity in 2024, 127.5, and so that contract is about like $40. But as this makes its move throughout the day, that'll spike up to 60 or 70, something like that. And it's just because there's so much activity in there. It's not about taking it in the money. That's not what you're
yes,
doing.
yeah.
But you can day trade it, and it's not going to collapse on you in the same at the same speed that a weekly would, but it does actually give you some of the range and premium to make it where you can day trade it. So that's something to kind of keep in mind as well as you look at this.
Yeah, on share side, everybody market by 5 or 10 shares. It's a really good lesson. No, don't do that.
Yeah. All right.
uh,
All right. So next up for me, this I mean, when you look at it, you could say like, oh well, we're late, but I'm in it now because the flow is relevant, and I let it go a long time ago, and it's just now back on my radars. FFIE.
oh, you are late.
Yeah.
FFIE. Yeah. Yep.
Um,
Oh, we're
but
not up. We
I,
ain't
you know,
broke the dollar yet.
I had no way to really like read this when it was down at 30 cents,
Yep.
and it actually even on the last spike when it got over 50 and then went over one. Flow wasn't particularly active on it, but it is now. So let me give you what I have here.
I forgot what I said when it was running. I but I do like it off a dollar.
Yeah, and
I
that's
mean,
kind of
that's where I'm at with it.
that's the story here. Is I've got 2.3, 1C, 2.17, 1C, um, just huge volume on the weeklies on this. So basically, people are piling in, whales included. It's about $10. Um, goes over one, probably a $20 contract. So
Pretty
that's kind of
simple.
your risk. So this is a very quick moving, risky stock. Kind of know that size accordingly, but very likely to break that dollar level, and then you kind of see where we go from there this week.
Yeah, it's a decent chart if you play RTL and you like the price range. Um, it's not my favorite setup currently, but if you like, again, if you like that 80 to a dollar move and you can play it, it works for your sizing stuff like that. It's going to be one that you're going to have to go off of RTL though. You're going to have to play the highs and lows on the day. For entry, there's really not a level here. Kind of all over the
Yeah.
place. I like 65 to be honest with you, but I don't think we're getting there. That's why I say we're too late because I like the 60 65, and I think it's gone.
Yes. You're on time if you want to scalp a $10 option to $20.
Yeah, yeah,
That's kind of that's what this trade is, and you don't buy 100 of those. Just
yeah.
um,
I like this on the
just
other
get a
side of a
handful.
dollar too. I'll like this on the other side of a dollar. Like it breaks out to like $1.25, comes back and confirms a dollar. I'll like this trade more then.
Yeah. Now the last time we were in on this, that was a home run
Yeah,
grand slam.
yeah.
This is like a bunt single, but but still, I like those two.
It could get picked up too,
Okay.
though. P. You could get picked up from here. It's just for me, got to confirm that dollar. Um,
Yes. It's in the right sector. I don't fully know what happened to just take this down from $7 to 30 cents. I didn't look into it enough to really know. But yeah, I mean that was a pretty dramatic fall.
yeah.
All right, so I have a couple more. Oh, I'll go ahead and do this one since it's in the same kind of thing. What do you? Your answer to this is going to decide whether I hotlist this.
Okay. Pressure.
BBAI.
BBAI. Isn't that the short one?
The
Is it short Bitcoin? No, that's not that thing.
no. This is a Big Bear.
BBAI.
Yeah, BBAI.
Do you have $4?
Yeah, that's what I got. So this had that huge day a few days ago. Kind of checked down, and what I was looking for when that happened was if it had fallen to 150 or below, I'm like, okay, it's done. Forget about it. But the fact that it kind of held its own was interesting to me. And then I've got 217 4C, volume exceeds open interest. I've got 217 3C as well, and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
leaps to 1250 are kind of interesting. But yeah, the main thing is this move to 4 is what I see happening here.
Yeah, no, 100%. I like this a lot in that regard.
Oh, cool.
Play it off $1.80 if you're gonna you want a floor. That looks like it's it. Um, so we have kind of moved a little bit, but if it's going to fourth, which that's what I have too, that's a lot of range from even here. So anything below 250 is good for a move to four. $1.50 on $2 is great.
Yeah, and this is another one of those. The options on it are 15-20 bucks. So
Let me
whatever
explain.
you're.
When I say $1.50 for these people out here, that's the range, not what I'm trying to take out of this thing. That's I have a dollar
Yes,
fifty
right.
range from 250. My downside is um, if I add from 250 to 220, my downside's 40 cents. My upside's $1.50. It's perfect. That's a 4-to-1 ratio. And you're looking for that ratio because that's going to minimize your your win loss ratio. It's going to limit, even with a poor win loss ratio, it's going to limit your downside risk because you're going to be taking smaller losses and bigger wins. Hopefully.
Yeah, absolutely. All
Yeah,
right, so
I
I got
like that.
two more.
I like that one though,
I've
people.
got SBSW.
I killed this a while ago. SBSW. They're minor, right?
Yes. Um, so they are. It's a gold stock that has kind of its own character. Does sell off more than some of its peers at times, and then you kind of get that pullback back up. So like if you compare this to gold, the stock gold has just been on this really stable uptrend, doesn't break at all. SBSW um, breaks down below it, and as long as the sector itself is still strong, you can catch a move back when they sort of overdo this. So I've got March 12C is what I'm after. March 17th 12C.
3 year volume profile 1238. 1 year's 950. That's kind of my channel. My current channel. That's where I'd put
Yeah,
it. Um, you just rejected off that 1234. What, 2 weeks ago? So a $10 higher low would be perfect here.
yeah, you could definitely see that this week.
Yeah, so $10,
So
low tens, nine under 950 is your stop. Back to 12 and a quarter would be your trade. Yeah, I like this. I like this.
yep. And one more. We had such a big list.
What
I'm a
was your
little picky this week.
sorry, what was your month on that strike?
Mark,
March. Okay.
the 12C for
You have
317.
you have those soldies at 10 or
Let's see. Yeah, I got 217 10p sold, um, and then March sold as well at that level. So nothing below 10.
perfect. Yeah, it's got a slow trend on the weekly, but it should be above 12. When it gets above 12, it's gonna figure out where in the teens it's gonna be, and yeah, I like this a lot.
And last up for me is Radii, RADI. Okay, so Radii, this is a they deal with cell towers mostly. So it's a communication stock. The flow on it, um, 317 15C, 217 15C, 317 17.5
Yep.
C, and sold puts at 12 and a half, 217.
Oh, nice. I don't know that one. Yeah, 15's your volume profile, and then 17's that upper shelf. The 15's I knew you were coming with.
Yeah, they're planning to take those in the money.
Yeah.
So 217, 15C is about $35 contract or so. Um, take that to 50 or 60.
I think the 17s get there too. To be honest with you, the way this chart looks, it just when it gets up above 15, 16, 17 is kind of the range.
Yeah, absolutely. So it had that dramatic sell off in the fall and has just stayed pretty stable going up, checking down a bit here and there. Definitely like that 1250 level as the floor. Now that this, because of the way the strikes are, doesn't mean that it's going to fall to 1250. There is no 13, so
Yeah.
13 could be it too. But
Yeah, no, there's a nice shelf at 13. I have nothing at 1250 on this side,
yeah,
but I do at
yeah. So
13. Yeah.
that's just how the strikes work. So yeah, like this under these 1350 ads, very likely going to 15.
Yeah, good stuff.
Yep, and that's my list. Keeping quite a few from the other one, so gonna try to trim us as much as we can.
Two, three, four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Good job, Pete. That was a little shorter than you've been.
Yeah, yeah,
And good mix of previous. And I think there's what, two stocks on there I don't you ain't been on before, so good stuff. Going to the hot list then.
yep.
AA would be first. Um, 50 still that level for me. If you still have
I still got a 60 test looming. Um, I got March 60s.
um, I'm fine with whatever you want to do with this one. I mean,
Um, no, I'll do notes. I'll do
okay.
notes
I
because
mean, it
I mean
could
really the move was from
the
the
A
40s
plus.
to
Yeah, the A plus
yeah,
already happened, right? We're continuation
yeah,
on a setup that we know at this point. Yeah, perfect.
yeah.
Um, AG, man, I've been waiting to talk about this stock all day. This is the one like I wanted to bring it up in the other chat, but when it flushed every morning, it would just come back. It would just come back, and it was like the easiest play
Yeah,
because I wanted to get into it, more for a swing. It would just basically like give me a good entry, go up, and like, oh, here you can have 5, 10%. Oh, okay, thank you, and it would just reject on a level. So when you reject on a level, an RT level for me, that's just weakness, and I have to respect that. That's why that's the first word of that. So
yeah,
the rinse and repeat of this stock without it even going up. I said it on Monday. I played my best play today was the only stock that's red on my list.
yeah,
And yeah, so I still like this, but that setup is a really flipping good setup. Like, go to the bottom of your list an hour into the market and see what's at the absolute flipping bottom. And if it's not news driven and it's like something we're already playing, it's a good time to buy. It just really is a good time to buy.
yeah. And the reason that I like this one is that it's just under 8 is really strong right now, and it's just not likely to break down. There's no puts to 7
Yeah.
to speak of. So it's gonna you're either gonna you can scalp it here and there. It's also a time to kind of you can build a position. Very likely go into 9 and 10. It's just when you look at what's happening in the market right now, people aren't focused on silver stocks, but the setup remains strong. So patience on this one will pay.
Yeah. Or I mean, you can literally, and I know every account's different, but you can take 30 to 40 cents out of this thing if you just buy it when it's red. And then
Yeah,
when this bigger move happens, you just won't hit your stop loss, right? Like it's
Yep.
gonna
Yep. Yep.
instead of bouncing off of 8 and coming back and hitting 780 or 795, whatever you put your stop, it's just gonna keep going off of 8. So yeah, love that one. AMRS.
Yes. So this, typically when I get back into this one, it's not just like a 1 week thing.
Okay.
This is going to be like a rinse and repeat situation for us. The 150 level is looking like it's going to hold in term on my end. So that's kind of what I'm looking for. Looking to play this back into the 180s to potentially to two.
Yeah, yeah, we talked about it Monday when it ran to that 180 that this needs to kind of hold or be a little cautious that we will check down. And when you're seeing that, I pretty much tell anyone that asks me about it, just have ads in the 150s. You should be fine here.
Yeah, yeah, that's my idea. So I'm not rushing into this pre-market Monday or anything, but I think that it's gonna give us a decent recovery and move.
If we do get a Fed flush, this is on the list.
Yes, yeah, for sure.
Beely.
All right. Okay, so yeah, good call on the Chinese New Year sort of shutting things down last
Mm-hmm.
week.
Mm-hmm.
So they were sort of quiet, based on that. But still like this for the same reasons that I have. Let me see. Yeah, they still so you still see this kind of goofy flow to I got like December 55C. That is not really like a, they're not trying to take that in the money, but they're trading those. Um, still like this to about like 32 is what I'm after. So could be a good week for China, as long as governments wants to continue to push their stocks. So I like it.
Okay. I play it off the 2550 for that little 10% bump usually. If I'm gonna play, that's the move I look for. I don't really. This isn't a long term hold. Like you know how you say the 15-minute trade on ODTs. That's kind of how I
Yeah,
feel about the Chinese stocks. That's the share side on the
sure.
Chinese
Yeah,
stocks.
yeah.
So yeah, this checks back to 2550, back in it in that range. Yeah, good call though on the timing. Uh, BTU, very interested where we are with this
Yeah, got
guy.
to really. I don't know if anyone caught that did below 26. That was a great time to add it. So this still is. It's going to toy around with this 30 32. I still like it to 40 by the summer.
Okay.
So still big on coal. This is the one I like. Um, I like tech too, but I need more of a pullback on tech to get back into it.
Yeah, I got that 32 level up, which is plenty of meat down here. Perfect.
Yeah.
Beyond meat. What up, though? What's
Yeah.
up?
um, yeah, that's crazy. This is another one of those where I think in my notes I mentioned leaps and like 18 being plausible for months from now or something, and then it just does it like 2 days later.
Hey,
Um,
Beyond
but
Meat and Coin are literally. I think there's one more too. Are literally just me reading your notes for months, and finally going,
yeah,
All
yeah,
right, it makes sense. I mean, those two I was against forever, and that I nailed them this week. I mean, I don't take like credit for it because I'm literally just reading your stuff and saying, look, it finally makes sense for both of us. Um,
yeah,
as you've been trading them the whole time, but it wasn't a coincidence, and it's part of the work we put in that it's paying. It's paying off. It's showing me it's paying off. BuzzFeed's the other one too. Um, but this was yeah.
yeah,
I
yeah,
literally said it's got to be cheaper than the goddamn price of the hot dogs for probably 6 months, and then it's in my
right,
it's just magically in my notes last week. It was magic. I mean,
yeah.
yeah,
Well,
no,
right, and I think that what I said in the last note was like this is likely to move without the typical catalyst that it gets. Because I mean, for months or heck years, it was, Long John Silver's getting veggie fish nuggets or something, and then it would go for a day and then pull back.
Yes.
But this was just a kind of just a risk on squeeze. I'm going to go and take it off just because I don't have a lot past 20 right now, and on some stocks, 1850 to 20 is great. On this one, after it just ran 15%, I want to wait. But yeah, it can go much further, and there'll be opportunities. But I'll just take it off for a week, see what happens.
I'm totally with you on taking it off. Timing is everything, and I hope we
Yeah,
prove that to some people here. Can uber poopy Bitcoin play?
definitely. Yeah,
You got
we picked a good time to get back into
you did. That's all you.
the Chinese Bitcoin sector. But
Um,
um,
I have fours. If you have the
I
fours,
I got fours. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I got 721 4C. I got leaps to 10.
and Bitcoin's
So
flirting with 24. I think we stay on the laggers and then buy the runners on pullbacks. And I'm assuming we'll talk about that. Um,
yeah,
Before we go, that crypto diversion I do want to touch base on before we get out of here today. CGC.
finally. God, I just I had a small position this
No, I was
week.
gonna say you had shares. I could tell by your voice. I know. You
Yeah,
said finally. Hey,
yeah,
it's weed. It's gonna move a little slower, man. Calm down.
right. Yeah, yeah,
Calm down,
yeah. They're
bro.
in no
Calm
hurry.
down, bro.
Um, I'm probably good here.
Yep, with it.
There's some big time potential to get into this 4 to 6 area, but government's going to have to do something. So um, we're ready to get. I mean, if we start talking about it intraday, um, you might take a look at these, but yeah, nothing imminent.
Yeah,
Got one move to three.
we were on these guys in the low twos. We're in the high twos now. By my book,
Yeah,
that's 20-30%. Um, it just it was a safe shot that didn't hit that you still profited on. I mean that's gonna happen, especially when you're waiting on government catalyst. Um,
yeah.
Chewy, what you got, bro? Have you looked into this
So
guy? Have you looked into this guy?
yes.
Okay, okay.
So what I'm looking for with Chewy is a little more activity in the 50s, and don't quite have that just yet. But I got sold puts at 46 and 47.50.
Yeah, bro. It's coming, P. If you don't see it yet, I'm
Yeah,
telling you, it's coming. Um,
yeah,
my level's 42, and it's not really the chart. I mean, the strength was great at the end of the week, but it's what I'm just hearing out there. It has the good news right now. Like everybody's on it. And I'm
so
not
this
talking
is a
socials. I'm talking like the big guys.
yeah, this is a situation where I watch listed a contract before the flow even came in, and so it's 317.55C. I think
Yeah.
that is the one that's going to really push this, and that's kind of where I see it going. I think it probably happens before earnings, which are the end of March. So
So with those puts, we're not. Are we pulling back to 42?
no, the puts are actually 46 and
Yeah,
47.50.
yeah, yeah.
So the puts are above.
We're
So I think we're going to break through that level, hold there, and that's what I'm looking for the push in calls.
okay.
So
You want to take
yeah,
a
so
week
this is
off?
no, I'm going to go ahead and keep it
Okay, okay.
because I just think that midweek clear the Fed stuff, and then I think we could see a push after that.
Yeah, it's one of those ones though that if we do get Boohoo Bear back, it will dip, 100%.
Yes,
But when we're in an
yeah.
environment of like game on, we're investing. This is one of the ones. This is definitely one of the ones in my opinion. Um, Perfect. Klein, Clean Energy, or is it Clean Spark? Clean energy, not clean spark. CLNE.
Yeah. Let's see. CLE.
Consolidation on 550 here. Probably 3 weeks into that. Um, isn't this clean coal?
So I got June 8C, and I've got February 6C, some sevens in March. So setup still pretty strong on my end. Put to call ratio 0.09. So no one wants to short this right now.
You adding here?
I'm adding as close to 550 as I can get.
All right, yeah, let's keep it. Yep, that's my number.
Yeah.
All right. I tried to talk myself out of that one. Coin. Let's go.
So yeah. Yeah, just monster move through my levels here.
Do you have 75s?
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at here.
You don't get push updates on this? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Coin. Someone bought 2 contracts of coin.
Right. So for the weeklies, at 64s, I've got 224 69C. Has some decent push on it. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna keep it just because I have
Okay.
so many levels on it. Could definitely check down if like 56 or so if the market goes bad. I don't really see it going back down to 50 anytime soon. But yeah, I mean, basically I'm looking for a break at about 72.50, and then um, it could get into the 80s or 90s. I mean, that just depends on what crypto does. But if we get we get up to that 28, 30K level in BTC, that's where this stock's going to go. It's going to fully recover back to where it was in that summer fall area.
This guy right here. This 116 high.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, I have 2 lines on this chart, 53 and 76. Both have change, obviously. Just interesting how we have different stuff, but they line up occasionally.
Yeah, and back when this was at 35, there was a scenario for it to go to 25, but at 35, I said to stop shorting it because I just didn't. The flow was kind of tapering out, and then it just we put it on the list and it just took off from there.
Book value was 29.56. We hit 31 and change.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty. I mean, you're really greedy if you didn't buy down there and you like this stock.
Right.
Dash.
I got 65s on it.
Yeah, we're keeping it.
So,
you don't have choice.
I would keep it for that.
That Starbucks FUD. I don't really want to talk about it right now, but I brought it up in the group. The mop head that said fucking I made it in life because I can buy all my meals on DoorDash. Like that,
right.
whether you think it's a joke or not, like that's the mentality that's out there with people that are that age. So that company's going to benefit from the disgusting mentality, for lack of it. No different than me and you when we were teenagers and we'd buy supersized shit from McDonald's. No different.
Yeah.
No different.
Yeah.
It was the trend, right? So you did it. Yeah. Make it huge.
Flex, bro.
Yeah. I got the fucking cup. I can't even fit in the cup holder. Jesus.
Yeah, the bucket of soda.
Yeah. All right. I'm patting you on the back here. Don't get a fucking big ego. DOYU. Bro, your crappy China is better than my crappy China, and that's saying a lot. Because I got like a 2-year head start on you, and you pull some stuff out of your butt. But we hit 210. So I'm wondering what you got here now.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna go ahead and I got leaps, I got leaps to 5, but I'm gonna take a week off. So I'm not gonna try to push this to anything crazy right now. I do think 250 is plausible on it. I just got to believe we got to check down a little bit
Yeah.
and park in like the 180s for a bit. We hold that, it's going to go to 250.
A gem of a find for the shitty Chinese list, though. Good. These next three, I'm gonna have to deal with your ego. God damn. GENI.
Yeah, so this is the one I got into it with a guy on Twitter called Gambling and Emerging Trend. Um, okay, so this I might just take the win here. Let me see what I've got. So if you happen to still be in it, I think you can reasonably hold some. The way the strikes are on it, really, it was that move to 5 that was kind of definitive, and then we've gone past that. The 750s in April are starting to get some activity. Would really like to check back down to 5 before adding anything else, though.
I think my best buy on this was like 340. I made about $500 on this play. I'm pretty much kicking myself in the butt on this one.
Yeah,
Yeah, because I used it as EDU, and I'm not gonna use like risky plays for EDU, and it was
yeah,
perfect. If you're on the screen, you'll see my weekly bar chart. Like we nailed the bottom on this, 320 to 350 ads, but we were just playing back to 4. It's 6 now.
yeah. And I think gambling, sports phone, or sport, not sports phone. So like sports gambling on your phone,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
is just such a huge and potentially destructive thing for young people. But in terms of the stocks, like it's going to stay active, and the catalysts are going to be positive. There's not going to be a big push to ban this stuff. You're just state by state, you're just going to see them start to legalize this, and
yeah.
I like the catalyst on these.
Yeah, no, 100%. Whether you think I'm the smartest, stupidest person you know or the stupidest, smartest person you know, whichever group I fall in, when I say stuff like there is a big share of the market that is not being tapped yet, I don't know how to say that clear so everyone understands it, but they don't have
Yeah,
full market share available yet. That's so huge to growth. It's just
yeah,
huge. The same thing with the weed. Um, it's just an unknown market, and that is literally gold in stock trading.
yeah.
Are we keeping this? Or we said take the dub, right?
No, I'll take a
Yeah,
break
I
from
think
it.
I think it's a
Look
good
for
call.
strength at 5, and then it's going to go to 750. But we'll just see.
Yeah, if we get pulled back, we'll be back on it. Love it. Good,
Yeah,
good fight. And then last one on Professor's Victory Lap tour here. GOTU.
yeah, um, yeah. So this, I'm gonna take the win here. I do have some flow to 450 that we could get another test of that. So if you trade this thing, then you might look for that. But I don't have enough in the 5 area to keep it.
Hey, you've seen the weekly chart on this, right? I'm assuming.
Yeah,
Yeah, because I mean we're at the bottom of that gap. I'd stay updated on this guy. I'm surprised you're walking away from this, to be honest.
well, you can keep it if you want to keep it.
Well, I mean,
I mean, I do
it
have.
I mean, it's to 10, P. It's like a gap to 10. If you don't have six, seven, eights, I don't.
Yeah, I don't just yet. So,
Let's wait a week then.
but okay.
Um, yeah, yeah, that's just wait a week. Grow G, I assume we'll do the same as CGC here.
Yeah.
Okay. G stat.
Uh, not doing what I wanted,
Yeah,
so I'm gonna back off for now.
I
Be
like
back for a
I
little.
like when we miss and the price stays the same.
Yeah.
Hive.
I think this is honestly lagging a bit.
Yeah, no, that's why we're on it.
So I think there's some potential here.
Yep.
Let me see. I've
Four, 306 to
I mean,
four
I just
sixty
I
six.
think by the time that this crypto rally is done, that this will see $5. That's my take on it.
Yeah, 466, same boat. Buy off three. Love it.
Yeah,
LAC?
kind of nailed this
Yeah, you no, you totally
lithium
did.
thing.
You totally did.
Um,
And this is exactly why I said let's just wait on the go TU. Because I was calling, like, when we were going down here, I was like, I got 14. And you're like, no, no, this is fine. And
yeah,
I think we turned off a 17.5 perfectly. But there's no level here without the flow. Um, and yeah, like you said, you nailed that bottom. You absolutely nailed that bottom.
it's and I'm gonna keep it because the so the 217 2250 is strong, and I mean
Yep.
that's kind of where we're at monthly contract, so that's why there's no weeklies. But it's the April 2750 and the May 30s that's why I'm gonna keep it.
Yeah, on the
And 2750, like I call up the chart and I'm like, I can just see it plain as day as a
yeah,
kind of a zone here, and then the move to 30 after that. So I think that's what we're in.
they got that December sell off on the weekly look. Just even the reclaim back to 25, 26. It's slower mover, in my opinion. Um, love it. Mara.
Now, if
Oh, sorry,
oh
sorry.
yeah, so
No, go ahead.
real
Go ahead.
quick on LHC, like
Yeah.
if when we get that 2750 move, what has happened before on this one is I see a spike and leaps to 40,
Yep.
and then you could see a jump to 40. That could happen, or we could just stick in the zone for a while. But I like the if you're in it on that move, and then you can catch that move to 40. And I bring that up because my original trades on this back in like well, actually, a long time ago, last year, I guess. The I had contracts on it, took them from like 150 to 300. I kept one of them, and it went to almost $1,000.
Nice.
So
Nice.
that's what LAC can do if you just have a runner and catch an uptrend. So I think there's some potential for that, but potential for a good trade either way.
What I want to get out of you more this year, in your general talking, because I do know you pick stuff up from me slowly, is
Yeah.
fair market price. So what is your fair market price on this? And I know I'm putting you on the spot here, so I won't hold you to it. But just in general, like
Mm-hmm.
what do you see this as, where it should be?
Uh, 30, 32.
32. Okay.
I think. Yeah.
Okay. I was like a 25, 27 guy, but I was just curious on what you thought because I think
Yeah, I think just
that's important.
right. And just given the like learning the lithium sector and like so this is like the Rolls Royce lithium stock, and so they're just the strongest one.
Yeah.
A little bit like the X or whoever FCX. So I think with the demand for lithium, into the future, um, I like it to sort of claim that low 30s area and get into 50 $60 5 years from now or so.
Love it. Love it. Yeah, no, I want to start doing that because like you'll see you're like just even in that context, you're a little more bullish here, but there's a thesis behind that, and when we have that conversation that way, it brings out the thesis. Totally agree with that
Yeah.
thesis. China's reopening. I mean, that's a no brainer. Unless China stays closed, um, yeah, the demand's not going to stay down on this. Like it just has to go back up. A lot of people don't take that into consideration right now. Like me, I didn't take it into consideration with my 27, 25 price target. But perfect.
I have a quick question about EVs while we're
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
on this. So how long does it take to charge one of those? Is it like filling up a tank of gas, or is it longer?
It depends
Um,
on the depends. Like so that's where Tesla is like OG because they have
yeah.
supercharger stations that are like specific for their
Mm,
car and
yeah.
you can charge all the way up in like 30 minutes. Like all the way. Um,
Nice. Yeah.
that's probably the quickest you're charging an EV. Tesla also has um, and most cars should have this system in it to where like you're driving and you put in your address where you're going and it's like, bro, you're not going to make it, right? You don't have enough power to make it to this location um, safely, so it tells you where to stop and how long you're going to stop. And those trips are usually the 10 to 20 minute stops because they're not at a supercharger, they're just at a regular charging station. um, but
Yeah,
but
yeah.
you're usually 15 minutes. Most of them are like in a Fred Meyer parking lot. My buddy's got a Tesla, so and we drove it everywhere. Um, like you go into the Fred Meyer, grab a snack, go to the bathroom, and come out. Like you're not just sitting in your car. Or there's like a
Right,
Sherry, there's
right.
like a Sherry's or a Red Lobster or Red Robin or something right there, and you kind of charge your car, maybe have a snack. So it's changing um, the way you get gas, right?
Yeah.
And you also charge at home, so you're always leaving with a full tank. So that doesn't really happen in today's world. So I think it's just a pivot on how we approach that situation. Um,
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
but it's
I'm
let's say 15-minute average every time you stop. Period. Um,
right. Yeah, I just because I've read I don't it's hard for me to envision a scenario where it's like your propane grill where you change the tank out, like where you just like
oh God,
grab a
no,
new battery.
no,
I just don't think that that's really like
no.
feasible um in terms of engineering or anything else. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, most of them are
Um,
pretty much just from safety side, they're pretty contained. So having
right.
access to slide them in and out quickly in under 15 minutes is just not a thing. And man, would those be stolen quicker than Cadillac converters?
Oh, right. Yeah.
uh,
Yeah, awesome. Okay, very good. So
well,
we're on Mara.
Mara, yeah,
Okay.
Mara.
Yeah.
Old 656 here.
Yeah. So this what was up with this one Friday? What
Uh,
was your read on what happened?
just it's just overextended at profit takers. People not wanting to hold. I mean, come on, you're up fucking 20-50% on this thing in most cases probably, and people are just not wanting to hold Bitcoin and play through the weekend. Yeah, I'm one of them, right?
Yeah,
I held Bitcoin
right,
last
right.
weekend. I was like, let's hold Bitcoin through the weekend, and then this weekend you didn't hear me talk about it because there's comes a point in time where you take your chips off the table, right? Some people are smart,
Yeah.
and I think
Yeah, I
you're seeing the rotation of profit takers and new buyers on this one right now.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. And I cleared out the rest of my coin at I have this line at 61.94, and I said a little bit left at that point and went ahead and got out of it. So yeah, so I'm with you. Um
Is it 8 or 650
yeah.
here? That's the question, in my opinion. Are we going to bounce hard off of 8 and run back to 10, or are we going to bounce off of 650 and run back to 9 or 10?
I don't have any shorts below 8 with any kind of significant volume. And then I have 217 10C, I got 23 10C, 239C. So the setup is still very bullish on it.
Yeah, we're going to get, I mean,
And
it's tradable sideways. We'll probably get a couple sideways days, but if Bitcoin continues to trend, yeah, let's just do that now. So that's a great divergence in Bitcoin, and Maro's probably the best one right now. So Bitcoin moved what 17K to 24K.
yeah,
This chart did about 15-20% better than Bitcoin just on percentage, right? Maybe even a little
right.
bit better than that. That's starting to change. This is pulling back. It's pulled back 20%. Bitcoin is not pulled back 20%. So there's a divergence in those two things. Where they settle, this will eventually say, all right, I'm pulling back and Bitcoin's not. I need to continue up. So the best time to buy is during that divergence if we are going to go to 27, 28, which I think, both agree we are.
Yes, exactly. And this is a number. It's different for every Bitcoin miner, but there's a number where they can't make money, and that we were there when Bitcoin was at that
Yes.
16, 17, 17K. You get into the 20s, they can make money. Some better than others. Mara is one of the better ones.
Yes, Mara
So
and Riot.
they, you know, it's very good for them. You know, obviously this rally and in terms of where it's coming from. And this is a good one to talk about. It's a little harder with crypto stuff, but you know, fair value for something like this. Not $80. I think that was overdoing it. But it is to me, it's between 20 and 30. I think if Bitcoin's doing well, could definitely see that.
Yeah, and the the trend of Bitcoin is. I mean, if Bitcoin is gaining money or gaining, if it's trending up even slowly, this should do the same thing.
Yes,
If Bitcoin is stagnant, this should also slowly trend up because they're producing it. It's when the price starts to dramatically go down that they don't you don't really have the it's not like copper where you're like, all right, copper should be 350. What should Bitcoin be? Yeah,
right.
no fucking answer to that, right? And
Yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah.
the problem. That's the problem right there. Um,
Right.
I'm keeping it because I think the eight holds. I'm going out on a hunch with the flow, and I think the eight does hold here. So
Yes.
any ads in the high sevens is what I'd be looking for continuation. Keep a strong eye on
Uh,
Bitcoin.
yeah, and I will say, I this is on my do not short list, just
Yeah, yeah.
because it it can just flip on you so fast, and there's better shorts for crypto, MSTR and Coin, um, where I have like Coin will get to a level, and I know it's likely to have trouble, and it's not likely to just 180 and fly on, and just fly right through my position. So, um, much better shorts out there, and again, like I said, there's nothing below 8 right now, so I like it too.
Yeah, yeah, and don't fall in love with the previous chart on this. I have
Yeah,
$17 up there for a reason.
yeah.
Nothing above that. Momo, you dirty evil genius with these Chinese stocks.
Let's see. So I have April 14C. Um, I have 11C for this week. So still looks good on my end.
Oh
Got
yeah,
sold
you're
puts at 10 and 11.
follow the flow here, bud.
Yeah.
Um, Overstock.
That did way better than I thought it would. I was going to take the win, but I mean, wow. Like,
Yeah, yeah, that did so good. I went
this,
to look at the rest in the sector. I was like, "What the hell's going on here?" And you just picked the right one.
yeah. And so the flow was to 25, and it got pretty close. So I don't feel the need to keep it on. But yeah, that's just one of those where a new one pops onto my radar and just hits exactly within a week that 20 to 25 move. Crazy.
You don't want to hold it for that less 80 cents or go to zero. No.
Yeah, right.
Okay. All right. Maybe next time. PL.
Yeah.
PL. Where are you with space? I'm interested in your take on that right now.
Yeah, space is bullish without the imminent launch catalyst. Where I just think it's one of those risky assets that people look to.
Better than the weed,
This
huh?
one in particular, yeah, yeah. I mean, it's gonna likely go to 5. Um, that isn't a huge move from here, though. Don't have much other than that. A little tough to read it just because it has 750 is the next strike up. So I don't know on your chart between 5 and 750 what you've got.
I'm a 450 guy. One line. You just play the pops off of that. Um, to me, there's just better plays right now.
Yeah, with you.
This is like a B plus if anything. Yeah, it's save it for notes or when flow comes in. Plug.
Yeah. Yeah. So plug, is the we look at the industrial sector. Um, the things that stand out in the smaller stocks are either airlines or EV chargers, and the 31720C on this to me is plausible. I like the activity in the 16 and 16.5 for February. So
Keeper.
yeah, I yeah, I'd keep it.
Perfect. Yeah, I like the 1650. We just need to confirm that. I'm with you. We're going to 20. Redfin, big dub.
Yeah, wow. So something we said about real estate, I don't know if it was last week or the week before, but that the outlook for the stocks is improving before the reality of real estate, the real estate market, and that really panned out. Saw it with pretty much all of them, but yeah, Redfin in particular,
Yeah,
really incredible move.
my notes legit said wait for the 550 pullback. Then I tagged my notes when it pulled back to 550. I don't know
Yeah,
what else I can do besides hit a button for you. You have to do a
right.
little. You have to do a little bit of work, and I'm trying to step my game up so we lack of better terms have proof of concept. So I'm trying to like
Yeah,
point out pretty obvious stuff. Um, yeah, no brainer here in general. I'm gonna take the dub. I don't know how
I,
you are here.
um, I I agree. I will say that I have eights and tens, so I have 217 8, and I have 317 10. So, but we likely get a pullback here, but
I'm if this hits six
but that's where
dollars,
it
if
goes.
this hits $6, I'll write a note.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
I'm
where
with
I'm
you.
at with it. Perfect.
I just I mean in general, like we don't get in the habit of a stock makes a 20% move and keep it on the list. That's not what the list is for. So
Yeah, exactly.
yeah,
It was on the list because it was had potential to make that 20%
yeah.
move. REI.
Just gathering strength here for a move to three.
Yeah.
That's my take on it.
This gets the the new symbol for the stamp approved professor and Unk play.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for this one. Um, another one of them sector guys. Timing is everything again. Rocket.
Yeah. Gonna take the win.
Yep.
Does likely see 10, but your 930 to 10 isn't what I'm after.
Yeah. Not as
So
clean as the other ones, but keep an eye on that sector. We're on the best of the best there.
yeah.
RLX.
Let's see here. Wyatt week for this one.
Sideways 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah.
If you look at this on the weekly, that December dip, it dipped, but it was flat, and it's come up, but it's flat. So you've had,
Yeah.
I mean, your 2 month candle would be like 220 to $3. I mean, that's like the 2 month. Not a lot of range.
Yeah.
Uh,
This has an explosive move coming, I
yes.
think.
Yeah. No. 100%.
So
You want?
I think I mean I like it to between $4 and $5 is where I'm seeing it going. So
Yeah. It needs that
give
volume.
it some time.
I'll throw it on there for
I
you.
want to stay on it.
Yep. Our uh, burgers, Red Robin.
Yeah, love the burger sector. This was another one that we had to get entry on here.
It's a very good rinse and repeat stock for me, especially if you get around or below the 850s. Um, goes back to 9 regularly. I have 11 long term. The more we confirm off this 840, 850 channel, the better, in my opinion.
I got flow to 10, 217, 10C on it.
Yeah, I want to be a little stubborn here, even though it might not fit the qualification of buy right here. I think that opportunity will come this week. Just
Yeah,
it
yeah,
fluctuates
definitely.
enough. It reminds me of Jack, but it's way cheaper. Um,
Yes, yeah, I like it.
S.
Um, yes, this is a good example of it. I had some initial flow on it. Hasn't quite been found yet, but I think that's coming. So I have September 24. I have leaps at 27 and
Yeah, that was
30.
this chart. Yeah, we're keeping it. I forgot about that.
So yeah,
This
definitely like it. So something they're going to get acquired or something like that.
I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna keep it on the hot list, but I'm in like 2 weeks. I'm gonna say, all right, Professor, I really like this chart now because it has that feel that
Yeah,
we're gonna just stay in this range here for like 2 weeks. But that support building
right.
is what I like, especially with the flipping 100% flow read. Um,
Yeah, and if so, like you look back at its recent history here, all fall, where it sort of like has these dramatic check downs. Like, I mean, we'll just take it off if that happens, but I just don't see that in the flow. There's nothing at like 12 or 10
yeah,
to
yeah.
justify that.
No, it
But
had two nasty weak candles, and it just looks like it went with the market
yeah,
um, for some reason. Shop. Ha 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 ha. Sorry.
yeah. When they finally let it break through 40, it just didn't stop. So
Key levels,
amazing.
man. Key levels.
Yeah. Let me see what I got. I doubt we're gonna keep it this week, but
Yeah,
yeah, I don't have much past.
assuming we're taking the
I
dub
mean,
here.
there's a little bit at 50-55, but
Yeah, no,
um,
no.
they're not going to let it keep going without checking down.
Yeah, SI, good job there. No, SI.
Yeah. All right, so this one, for what it is, um, I do like it. I don't like anything about their business or their future. I got 2, 3, 16, 50. I've got some downside to 10. There's some risk here. I don't know.
I
Nah,
forgot
I'm
what.
gonna back. I'm gonna back
You're
off.
off. Okay, I read some news
Yeah.
on it. If I can find it, I'll put it. I thought it was good in my head. I'm thinking it was not bad news, but I think
Well,
you're just. I think you're early
they
here, P.
suspended they
The
suspended
dividend.
their dividend.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot what it was
No,
that I should.
I think I'm early too. I think you're gonna see it go to like $20 or 22.50.
Yeah, just from where,
Just a
right?
question of when.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Our week early shout here, we were totally right on this. Well, more you than me, but SQQ.
Yeah. You'll want to keep an eye on that this week for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. Tell.
Let's see. I've had interesting leap activity on this at 350, 450, 550. Um, so somebody's banking on them turning things around. You can actually just day trade this though. Really like it short term to move to like 220 from here. I don't know if that's enough for you on the share side.
230 is my. I want 230 to confirm. I like it better there, which that's that move. Um,
Yeah, it's not. I mean, we can take it off for now. It's not going anywhere. But
okay, perfect.
yeah.
Tiger.
Um. Yeah. If anyone caught that at 350, you're not getting that again.
No.
Um,
I don't think I think this is about to go. I mean, not far,
Yeah,
but
I got 750. I got 7.5 C for April.
yeah, let's stay on this.
Um,
Let's stay on this one more week. I
yeah,
just have a hunch here.
yeah.
XPEF.
I like this so much more than Neo. I can't really explain why, but the flow
Hundred
reads are
percent.
just better on it.
100%.
Um, so I like the June 15C on it, and then just every expiration, the 10 and a half, 11, 12, people pile into those. Not a lot of attempts to short this right now, which usually there are. Put to call ratio is 0.16. Um, oh, and okay. So by the way, quick note about put to call ratio. Put to call ratio on SPY, QQQ, SPX is completely useless because of the zero DTE trading that happens. But for other stocks, and kind of quieter the better, it is very useful to see who's wanting to short it and who's not. And zero point 0.7 is your threshold to be considered. Anything below zero point 0.7 is bullish. So it's just one factor, but yeah, if you see anyone talk at puts call ratio on SPY, it's useless. But for other stocks, it is useful.
Yeah, I like this one. I think with what's happened in the last week, it might just be behind on them um, with the larger short positions, um, just kind of closing out their positions and that creating momentum.
Yeah,
Not on
yeah.
a lucid level, but just this thing shouldn't run 15% in a day, and it very well likely could. And a couple days in a row.
Yeah. I'm with you.
Uh, that's the end of those. Let's go into my stuff. AI. A lot of the stuff we've been on. That's why I said you didn't really need to watch the video this week. I was
Yeah.
trying to stay inside our box, um, and I've been doing that in general. But I think on this sector, I'm gonna go look for a couple new guys. But we'll start with AI first. Um, we kind of were on it. Only reason it's here after this move is I have 1660 to 2040 as the channel. Looking like we're going to confirm the channel. Just wondering what you had on your end.
I got 217 20C and 217, and then this has monthly options, so 217 is the closest one. But like the 1750s are strong there. Um, no, no one's trying to short this right now. We'll see if that happens early in the week. But yeah, I like it to 20 for sure.
Yeah, I know the same thing, so we'll put that one in there. ATER. It's kind of a soul. It's kind of came up on the social play, and it ran after hours a little more than I'd like it to. So I am looking for some pullback unless there is the strong flow read here. But I wondered if this one even comes up on your radar.
Um, yeah, a little bit. So let's see.
And 250 should be
Oh, okay. Yeah,
glaring.
actually, I remember this one when it went from like 250 to
Yeah,
over five.
5.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's just
So
getting it.
the 150C is pretty active for the weeklies. I got some 2, 3, um, 2C, a little bit of that too. So there's some potential there.
Better for
Nothing
notes.
dramatic in mind.
What's better
Yeah,
for
probably
notes?
better for
Perfect.
notes.
CLSK. It's a Bitcoin lagger. Uh, I don't know if you remember it from before, but we have been on it before. Uh, three
Oh yeah, clean spark.
330, but 4 is really the level I'm looking for.
Doesn't get much flow. Um, it has the 250 strikes.
Okay,
So it's 250 and 5. Um, yeah, don't have an opinion on it really.
perfect. CrowdStrike confirming 100. I have 133 ish. Volume profile on the 1 year is 170. We're at volume profile on the 3 year.
Yeah, so this one didn't get the kind of the full benefit of the whole SAF recovery all week. A little bit quiet. I do like the 110C for 2.3. I like that.
You don't have anything in the 20s or 30s though, huh?
Um, no, not much yet.
Okay,
Not
let's
much
just
yet.
wait on let's wait on it. And then Datadog, are we in a 70 to 77 channel or are we going back to 90s?
So the 90 calls are bearish on it. 100 calls are bearish. So it's like they're trying to catch people who think that's going to happen.
Okay,
So I think we might be in a little bit of channel here for a bit.
perfect. Then I'll note that. So, Docu. Uh, 57 to 70. We're just confirming that 57. Not really with strength,
The
to be honest, but
flow's looking a little bearish here to, I got 56p and 40p. Wow.
okay, yeah, no, no, okay. Well, yeah, let's not do that. Uh,
Yeah.
let's not do that. Um, when you say the
I don't know what.
when you say the bad number to the downside and you hit it like that, that's a runaway.
Yeah.
um,
That's not a plausible strike to me, but at the same time, it's kind of the directionality
yes,
they might be looking for that FOMC pullback, and this would be one of those that they would target to take
yeah,
down
but
5,
47,
7% a day. Yeah,
47 pays on those 40s though, right? Like that's how that
yeah,
works. Yeah,
exactly.
so
Yeah,
FSR, we hit the 849 Friday, which is our level. Clear rejection off of it, like plain as day. Um, which that created enough range. Now we're dang near $1 back from that high. Um,
yeah. They the whole reason this one pops up for me is just they hammer the tens on it. Um, so I got 10C for 217. Um,
so my
yeah.
we had the big run like late in the week and Friday, right? Everything kind
Mhm.
of ran off of Tesla ER, but it was like a day and a half late. Was Friday it, or are we just slow? Is that thesis that I've been pounding the table on a little bit that these moves just don't happen in one day? They take fucking forever because of there's not a lot of activity in the market. Is that going to hold true here, or was that it Friday on the EV sector? That's kind of where I'm at with that.
Yeah, I mean the so the flow going into the weekend, like I got to see what holds for the open interest on these,
Okay.
and the Fed could just kill all of these
Okay.
if they wanted to, um, and that's always kind of a scenario that's out there. It's why the SQs were so interesting, because if the SQs move to I don't 45, then FSR is going to lose 7, you know, and maybe like fall to like 650 or something. So because it just can't hold up
Sure. Against that.
independent of those conditions. Yeah. So I just got to wait and see on
Okay.
this, but I still just think you could actually get 10 leaps and just wait it out, and I think you'll be fine.
Be
But
fine. Perfect.
as a day trade, I want to see what happens.
You want to get on the other like next week. This would be better if it was in the same
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And and um, even if the neuse is positive and like I'd rather break into a higher level, check back down to it, and then we go to 10 to 12.
Okay.
We're kind of in no man's land right now.
Okay. Okay. FTCH we did. Fubo.
Yeah, almost had that on there. Yeah. So this, Roku's the one I missed on. Like I thought Roku was done, but it had such a positive reaction to Netflix. Now this one I had been a little more bullish on, and still like it to 3 by March. So that's a pretty good move.
Yeah, so I like the trend, and I think we're gonna have a couple good days here soon.
Yeah.
240 is kind of my level I need to hold, and we're starting to respect that again. Ads below, please. Groupon 9 to 15 in a nutshell.
It does seem like a good time for crappy apps. Um, yeah, I got 4, 21, 13 C is what stands out. And that's kind of the top end, but that's still pretty good.
Yeah, yeah, no, it's great from here. Let's get back on this one.
Yeah.
Um, little overextended on this next guy, but it's the weight confirmed the top of the channel. Just interested if you have 20s, would be lift.
Interesting to me how much better of a stock this is than Uber, just for
Yes.
trading.
Yeah.
So they're not paired up anymore. They're kind of divergent from each other. Let me see here. Got Yeah, I got 2250, 317, 2250.
That's solid. I think we continue
Yeah.
here then.
Yeah, I mean, because you look at that, this again, I talk about August highs. The August high was over 20. It was like 21 and change.
Mm-hmm.
So we're kind of at that striking point where whales might want to test those levels
Yeah, it's
before the
hot.
rally dies. Yeah.
And just what you're seeing, what I'm seeing, we're not checking down to the 1250. We're going to check in up to the other channel.
Yeah. Yeah.
Perfect, perfect. Got a big dub on that one because we hit that in the Leaps channel also.
Yep.
ER play, kind of why I'm talking about it. Meta.
Mm.
I think they're going to be. I have 155 as a key level. We're kind of approaching that. They're going to run into the Fed and their report at the same time.
So yeah, we flipped bullish on this before we set up the Leaps channel, but this would have been one that
Yeah, off the 100.
would have been in it. So like this and Netflix, like we
Yeah,
caught,
yeah.
way early. So yeah, I would say I would not short this into earnings, definitely with what I'm looking at here. I think it might check down to like the mid 140s. Um,
Yeah, I got 142 consolidation on the 1 hour. 42,
I've got
43.
so if you look at like May and June, I got flow from like 240 to 300.
Yeah, so is this the
I don't know.
ER? Are
Yeah,
we taking off this ER? Is that what's happening here?
I don't. Um, the leaps are setting up that scenario, and so like this would be if what Zuckerberg tried to do here actually worked. Like that'd be one of the kind of the bigger financial stories of the decade, given how far they fell.
Sure.
Um, and I think definitely that's possible. So I mean, I like this to 200 relatively soon.
I have one.
ER might do it.
I have 155 to 192.
Yeah.
Man, the only reason I'm not like all in is because the ER with the Fed on the same day. Um, but
Yes.
I do like
Yeah.
this. I really like this setup.
Yeah. I think people are going to try to short this and get fried.
So do we put
That's
on the
kind of what
hot
I think.
list and
Yeah.
not short it?
Um, I would. I think we should put it on there. I like having a large cap on there, and this would be the one that, just with how these contracts are going to move, is just good day traded every day. Um,
I like your
and
your lower 140 pullback is a perfect spot
yeah,
for the
yeah,
launch pad. That's what I like about it here.
yeah. I'm with you on that.
Hey, we're
So
investors. We got to take risk.
yeah,
This seems like it's an educated risk with what's been going on.
yeah. This is another one that I actually um I didn't like it under 100 because it was just I'm like, what the hell's going to happen here? But once it came back and got in that like 105
Yeah, 108.
to
Yep.
115 range, like yeah, that was like okay, this is an excellent. I think I called it the best large cap going into the new year, and so it's already up to 150.
Yeah, no, 100%. Good stuff. Nikola.
So yeah, I don't know if they have like a real world reason to be bullish, but they definitely are in options. So let me see, just kind of a sector beneficiary. Uh, gonna keep trying at 3. That's kind of my read on it. I don't have a lot of flow beyond that. There is some 4C for 217 that could pick up if this breaks 3.
It's the same question with all of them at this point. Was the EV rally, was that it? Was it just a quick little short 2 day rally, or are we going to continue with this for next week or two?
Yeah, and let me check the Tesla flow real quick here. Notoriously noisy, but actually a little easier to read after the split than it used to be. Um, yeah, that's all weeklies, some outlandish leaps.
If Tesla's flow is good, I don't think we play this because Lucid and Rivian, which is coming up here, will be the ones we want to play.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I'm
If Tesla's not
inclined to
good,
be.
if Tesla's not good and this has against the grain flow, then we stay on it, right?
Yeah. So I like Nikola if it's like under 230.
Okay. Okay.
That's where I like to play from.
Yeah, call it a B. Let's call it a B.
Yeah.
Piton.
Yeah.
ER.
I just threw this in the leap channel. Um,
It has ER this week. Um, man, are they advertising? And I'm I used to work in ad. I used to work for a paper, so like I always try to look through ads. Like, what are you selling? How are you profiting off of it? Because that's what ads are for, right? Like, we're gonna spend
yeah.
5 grand to get 50,000 people to see this, and we're gonna hopefully get 1% of them as customers. That's just how it works. And they are legit hitting the airwaves, trying to get rid of all their dead stock product. Like, if you want a Peloton, call them. They'll make a deal with you. They'll give you 500 off. They'll finance you for it, 0 down for 7 years. They don't care. Just take the bike. Um, and they're doing that through their advertising right now. So I think they have a plan, and they're just trying to build cash right now from the business side.
So a floor trader bought $3.2 million of 61618C on Friday.
Yeah, that's what you posted,
Um,
huh?
yeah, yeah, that's an earnings trade with that lowers your risk a bit. Um, Contract's about $120. So yeah, I mean, I think that whales are overall inclined to be bullish on Peloton
So
given
real
its
quick, and
earnings.
I've pointed this out before. I think it'll help you more than it'll help other people if you can find a quick um, access to it. But their sales per share is $11. Their book value is $7. I can do basic math. That's $18.
Yes.
And when that lines up with stuff, it's not coincidence.
Right.
It's
Right.
not coincidence. if you look at the chart, I have like it's gapped to 23 once we get above this 13. So from the TA side, that's why I like it. But we all know 840 is my piton level, so the 840 to 13 is a pretty big channel. Um, Although we've kind of said 10 is the floor now, right? Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, yeah,
Yeah, and I think the um, taking the earnings gamblers positions out is something that I see happening a lot. And then you get sort of the move after that. So
yes.
I like this to have a bullish move off earnings. Might not happen right away, but the era of easy money playing puts on earnings, I think we're past that at this point.
Over, yeah.
Yeah,
All right, so let's keep this, and I'll just write a really good. Let's put this
yeah,
on the hot list, but I'll have it in my focus notes with a really good note.
yeah. I
Um,
like it.
Rivian.
Let's
Kind of talked about this level when it was 55, 40, whatever it was back up in there, that we don't know where it's going to settle at 20, 30, 15, but when it does, we'll strike. Um,
Yeah.
that's what we're feeling like we're settling here. This thing will have a lot of range if it does get moving, just because it doesn't have a lot of history down here. So
Uh, I
20,
got I got 317, 2750. And I happen to have a line at 2733. So that actually matches up.
yeah, I know mine's right at 30. Yeah, I like that if it's lucid and this if the trend continues, it really is like
Yeah.
they'll feed off Tesla in my opinion.
Yes. Yeah.
Perfect.
And Tesla, I posted a couple scenarios for what I thought would happen with earnings. Like I said, if they were good, it's going to go to 160 and confirm, and then here we are. It's a pushing 180. Um, Pretty much. I mean, it's a dramatic move, but all it's done is erase that December drop.
Mm-hmm.
So it's anyone's guess from here. I do think Tesla could check back down to like 140 if things go bad this week.
Yeah, I gave 3 lines on this chart. What? Oh, way over a month ago. We talked at 184, 87 is like don't buy here. We'll definitely probably get to 150, and then when we had the huge drop, we established the 140 level. Um,
Yeah.
but this 185, it's not just going to go right through it, in my opinion. Even if it breaks it, it's not going like one day through it. Um,
Yeah, and that's the thing too. Like the people selling those calls can just chew up that premium by just keeping it parked there for a bit. So, yeah, that's possible too.
what's your current? Again, I just want to get you into this mindset. What's your current fair market price for Tesla?
Um, 240.
Okay, interesting,
Yeah.
interesting. Rocket Lab.
Um, and by the way, like Tesla to me is a little bit unique because
Oh,
it's
sure,
never about what they're doing. It's about this is they symbolize the future. And so
sure.
when the market's optimistic about the future, you can add I don't know $80 to their stock price just based on that alone. All right,
What
so
was
then
your
you said Rocket Lab.
what was your number again? Hold on, this is gonna be great. Your number was what?
Uh, uh, it's 240.
Okay, so my number is well, it's a little off. My number is that 139. But
Oh yeah, yeah,
what you just said, add $80 onto it.
yeah,
It
yeah,
puts me where no 100%, 100%. That's it. That's exactly what I was trying to get out of that conversation.
yeah,
Perfect. Because I mean it's that's $20 off if you add 80 to mine, and that's exactly how people think. I'm the same page with you. I just try to I
yeah.
have that cheap mindset. Um,
Oh right, yeah,
so I see it. Well, people probably overpricing this by $80. So I'm one. I'm not four or 220. I'm 140. Oh, that also
Yeah.
lines up with my level, so um, perfect.
Yeah,
Rocket
yeah.
Lab.
So
Sorry.
I I bought 5 shares of Tesla at $120, and so I'm just gonna keep those. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Not
Yeah.
like it's not like dramatic, like break the bank or anything, but still, it's an average I can brag about. I'll just keep it for that reason. It's like my
Yeah.
Hoxie in the 20s. I
I
have like three.
talk
I have like 3 shares left, but still.
I talked to the Viperfish a lot about that, and I mean, even if you're playing, a lot of people won't pull the trigger because they want to put their whole move in, and just get a
Yeah,
piece of it. Just get a piece of it. I don't care if it's 5 shares or 3 shares.
yeah,
Just get a habit of buying at what you see, and eventually it'll you'll hit one. You'll hit a big one. You'll get full size position, but it's real hard to get the best entry, full size, full move. That's it's just not. It's too
yeah.
much
Right. I like. Yeah.
stress.
Who just like bought $10,000 worth of Amazon at $5 or whatever. And even if you
Yeah,
did, if you bought at five, I think it dipped to two something, and then
yeah.
and then it took off after that. So
Well,
yeah,
even with like Tesla on the 100 dip, if I was to try to go in there, I'm not buying 100 shares all at once. I mean, that's my full position on that at 100. Like I'm just trying to buy 10 or 20 at a time. Um, and then you
yeah, yeah,
make your decision on your next buy. All right, well we're up 5%. All right, well I'm just gonna roll with this. Or we're the same price. All right, I'm gonna add more. All right, or I got a little dip, but I'm not to where I want to stop at, and I'm gonna add a little more. Like you just kind of figure out how you're gonna, or I'm not gonna add, and um, I'm gonna stick to the stop. You just got to kind of exercise that in the
um,
trade. But
yeah.
but
You just don't know. I mean, if one of those CPI prints had come in hot instead of in, Tesla might have dropped to $80.
yeah,
I mean, and there was flow to do it, so
yeah,
you
yeah.
just don't know.
But if you're
Yeah,
sitting there with your full position in your hand, trying to catch the bottom, you're you're gonna not catch a lot of bottoms. In general, you're just not, and you're gonna miss a lot of moves that you did see because you're trying to be too perfect. Um,
yeah,
so just take 10 or 20% or 30% of your overall full position, what you have as a plan of full position, and get in on the first spot where you think this might be it. And yeah, and that 5 share thing you say, P. I hate when people say it that way. You got a good entry on some shares. It's just
yeah,
you
yeah.
didn't have the opportunity to um to get the full position in. That shit moved quick. um, if
Yeah,
Tesla
absolutely.
if Tesla stayed at 110 for like 4 weeks, 5 weeks, I bet you would have had more shares. So it's just playing what's in front.
Yeah, and I just in my long term stuff, I'm not like a huge believer in Tesla. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
I just thought it was a good price for it. I'm a bigger believer in um, like Snow, or there's other ones, but it's that always factors into when you're going long on something.
Yeah, like Square for me. I mean, I don't have my full position, but I don't even have the bottom because I didn't get 55s. I got 60s, but I have a good position in a good price zone, right? And that's more important than
Yeah,
trying to full position on the bottom. I'm kind of rambling there,
yeah,
but
yeah.
Rocket Lab.
All right, so this probably is the best base stock right now. Um, so I like this under five, and I'm looking at a move to six. I got 421 6C.
I love everything about this besides Kathy Woods. 410, 477 was my channel. We are confirming this 477, 475, whatever you want to call it. It's just bouncing off the top of it. Yeah, I had sevens, but
Yeah,
I think you'll get that on the way up. Definitely adding A plus on your end.
yeah, yeah.
Okay,
I like it.
I just want to trying to really stick to the whatever we pull out of here A plus. I want to make sure I write about it, if that makes any sense.
Yeah,
Shaq, It's a top end play too. 57, 71 is the top of my channel. 40 would be the bottom. Definitely volume profile is confirmed around 50, so I don't think the 40 is coming back. But looking for like those 65, 70s, to be honest with you. That's the 200 on the weekly.
So I got 61C for 217 and 63C 217 as well. Yeah, I like that.
Let's
A
get
little bit of a burger squeeze here. I think we could see that.
Yeah, and we caught this one on
Kind
the
of,
level.
yeah. I see this getting into like 68 to 75
Yes.
in April, sort of my target for it.
Yeah. So would 55 be your floor right now? Or you have 50
Yeah. So the
possible?
sold puts are 57.50 actually.
Oh,
Yeah,
Jesus. Yeah, this is A plus B.
yeah.
And then the last one, on again, off again. We're going to nail this son of a B. Tap.
Oh yeah.
50, bud. 50 is just the number.
Yeah, this is my preferred beer play just because the Sam Adams options are ridiculous. It's like Chipotle kind of, where I nail the chart, but it's so
Yeah.
damn expensive that
Yeah.
it's like it doesn't do me a lot of good. But yeah, let's see.
Yeah, you named that one perfectly. The Chipotle. God.
Yeah, yeah.
We absolutely nailed that. 13 to 1600. But like there's no way to play shares or options on that
So
damn thing.
in market mechanics, how does the burrito stock? How is it priced at like that? Is
Sure,
it just
it's just a share.
insiders?
If there was only 5 shares of the company, it would they would be worth $1 billion a piece, right?
Gotcha. Yeah.
So it's just there's not a lot of share. Let me pull up the number. There's not a lot of shares of that, um, and they do keep them in house. So between
Yeah.
those two things, um, between those two things is why. Yeah, they only have 27 million shares.
Oh wow. Yeah.
That's not a lot of shares. And real quick on insider ownership on those. 10, 20, 30, 40. We're like 40% off the table. So there's only like 13 million shares out there.
Oh
That's what.
wow.
That's why. And um, I always say like any company that's on the stock market, it's a crappy company. They're using their company to borrow money.
Yeah.
They're they just signed up to borrow money and have not borrowed it yet.
Ah.
That's why the stock price is
Interesting.
like that, or it's so
I
high.
um I ate there every day in grad school. I lived so. Um,
They're good. They're good. They're
yeah. Good.
good. It's just they get the bad PR on small serving size.
Yeah. Yeah. For
Like
sure.
you only
Um,
get like 4 chunks of meat or something. I don't.
right.
Well, we got taco wagons out here, so I don't go to Chipotle. I go to people that
Yeah.
can't speak English, not the high school kids, to get my burritos.
Right. Right. No, that's my neighborhood too. All right. So I got 57, 50, 317 on cap.
A plus.
That's a good. Yeah. Yeah. That is.
Let's do it. I just like this 50 level. We're gonna nail this son of a B for the full move eventually.
And I want everyone to notice that while um tech and memes and all that stuff, like all that's going crazy. We got burgers, beer, like there's some diversity in our sectors that we cover. So
Yeah, and I think we did a good job of giving like not necessarily the blue chip, but the A plus of sectors currently,
yeah,
right? Like there's some tech in there, there's some Bitcoin, there's some services, there's some growth, there's some space, there's some metals, some burgers, there's some
yep.
China, there's some EV. No, I like it. I like it. I like it. You got anything at the end? Oh, I have. I don't really want to like go over them, but I want to keep us to start keeping an eye on these squeeze plays possibilities.
Mhm.
Carvana, Funko, and XPEV are the 3 charts that I have on the TA side. That if you see squeezes on those, let's 911 those. Like if you see,
Yeah, Carvana is going in my sector notes. this week. It's at 8, it's just hard to deal with that. But yeah, it's likely to. Yeah, Carvana could go to $12.
Yeah, I had a simple note last week on Carvana. Like it's the 7 to 8 play right now. You know, you buy 7, trade it at 8.
Yeah,
With the caveat that this thing is probably going to take off eventually. Um, but yeah, those three just of what I looked into, and I didn't look into it super deep because again, I'm trying to stay inside this box that's worked for the last probably 2 months really well. um,
yeah.
but you can't you seen the squeeze happen. You seen some shorts
So
get out of their
right,
positions.
and it's a huge pet peeve of mine with the options gamblers that like why would you alert Walgreens when Carvana exists? I mean, if you want really, if you want to buy a $2 weekly, buy Beyond Meat, buy Carvana, buy something that has a track record for just going crazy like that. You might still go to zero, but you've got a better shot with something like that'll actually squeeze and halt and all that instead of the drugstore.
Yeah.
And if you
Well,
want a drugstore, go to Rad's better for that even.
the thing
I
I
got a
think,
better drugstore for you.
yeah, the thing I think they're missing, that I caught on to real quick, and I will continue to pound the table about it, is it's not retail. These are like your big
Yeah,
hedge funds and your small head. It's everybody from the Citadel to Brandon down there at Edward Jones down the street. Those guys are
yeah,
repositioning. They're just repositioning for the year. So they will mess with each other a little bit, but this isn't like retail pushing people around yet. If that happens, we want to be in front of it. We
yeah,
really do. If the Robin Hood gang comes back to save Carvana or Robin Hood or something, you're gonna want to be around. You're gonna want to be early on that because that will run. But right now, that what's going on is literally institutional people, money managers are positioning. It's I don't think it's retail right now.
no, yeah. Retails they're too dispersed and
Yes.
chasing every little thing, and trying to catch apron um, when it's not there.
Oh
I got a
man,
couple pet peeve stocks. Sorry,
you got a
uh,
couple pet peeve accounts.
yeah, I do, I
I
do.
just think it's funny that he follows me and doesn't read shit, right? But just from the
Yeah.
Spaces conversation, he follows me and then blocked you. Like they're so
Yeah, I know he's got the blueprint of a scammer pumper, but the execution is so bad that he doesn't even make money on it. So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. In a nutshell, that these people are so full of shit that they think everybody else is full of shit. That's how
right.
full of shit they
Yeah,
are. Like they know they're scamming, so everyone else has to be scamming too. Like this is how
yeah,
they look at it, and I can't let you in on mine because you'll just take part of my scam money. It's
yeah.
crazy to me. Um, I thought you were gonna go nuclear on him this week or with that WBA just because he averaged in like 4 more times. Um,
Oh yeah, I know. It was and then he's like, it's gonna halt.
it's
WBA
gonna
is gonna halt. Why?
it's
Why is it gonna
gonna
halt?
halt.
And the most
News is
frustrating thing
coming.
about it was it did well. Like
Yeah.
it had like a 3-4% move, but not the 38C. That's just not how it. That's not how it works.
Do
I got
you
one.
know
I got one. Oh, you have to.
do you know how he's picking his stuff? Because I haven't figured it out yet.
Um, so he likes weeklies, and um, he wants that. I think it was like $3 at the time,
Yeah.
and so he's thinking that he can pump a $3 contract to 6, and he'll say 10. It's a Zach Morris thing. Like
Was there
so
was there a
he wants to
particular
he
was
got
there
the volume he wanted, but it
yeah
was
that's
just too far out of the money.
so is there a particular like volume level he you think he's looking for, or is it literally, I mean, that's what I don't get. Is he like seeing something saying, all right, this has 1,000 open interest, I
Well,
can
he
push it to 2?
following his plays, like he has to push open interest on a contract over 10,000 in a day.
Yes.
And if he targeted the right contract, the pump would work. Um, but it needs to be closer to the money, and he's too cheap to spend $20 on a contract. He wants to spend three. He could push a contract from 20 to 30 with what he's doing, but he's just targeting the wrong stuff.
Okay. Okay. So he doesn't know. He doesn't have a system yet of what he's picking. To be
No,
honest.
I've seen him trade Walgreens before, and I don't know. Like to me, that one came about because of some DD, where like he saw that they have some kind of automated system or something. They're rumored to be selling, and he thought that was going to move the stock, 8% or 10% or something.
One of my favorite lines, and I'll say it till the day I die because I don't think it's ever going to change. But I'm on Twitter, so I know what not to trade.
Yeah.
You said one more, two more, three more. What you
Oh
got?
yeah. So take a look at Sark for me. This is the inverse of Kathy Wood.
SARK?
SARK. Yeah.
Yeah, that don't look good. I thought she was doing good.
She is doing good. This is the inverse. So this is the one trying to short her.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, because I one of them damn CBS NBC reports said she had like the best January ever. So yeah, that's what you're seeing. Um,
Yeah. So basically, what we have here is the I had a note on this. If it goes under 44, to not buy it, but start watching it.
okay.
So watch this. This is not likely to dip below 40.
Put on.
And if we get any kind of like negative move in the market, this is going to jump over 50 very fast. So keep it on our radar. My last mention of the day. Last week it was natural gas. This week it's this. So keep
And
it on.
you like this back to 54? You said.
To 50 to like
50.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
So 40 to 50 basically.
Okay. It was under 44 is what you said.
Yes.
There you go. The only thing about these, and they all cover it, cold boil, gush, you name it, lab D, lab U. They're kind of, you have to take like the last 6 months of the chart into consideration more than you do like the last 3 years, and
Yeah.
play that as a zone. So I definitely see what you're saying here because this is the low of that time frame. Um, kind of a SQQ. You put it in that folder, right? We're getting
Yeah, I do with a little bit more risk and less stability in history and all that stuff. But so like I would have my position would be maybe like 1/5 the size in this, but the payoff will be bigger. Kind of
okay.
how I look at
Okay.
it.
Um,
Yeah.
the only thing I have wrong with this, or that I don't like about this one, is you really got to keep up with what's in there, because she buys and sells so much. You kind of want to
Yes.
know that you want to know it, like at least. I mean, you don't have to know the whole thing, but you probably want to know her top, top 2 or 3 holdings that you're.
Right. As long as Tesla's running, I wouldn't touch this because she's so heavy into Tesla.
What's next? Is she?
I think it's Coin and
Coin?
Rosen.
Yeah, I was gonna say Coin would be next.
So we see
Yeah,
why she's doing well.
yeah. I like it. And there is no. Is this leveraged?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. So ARC would just be the upside.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, I think those are good. That's good stuff
Yeah,
to pay
and
attention
I've
to.
said for a long time that she has sort of a curious method of going about it, but there's definitely a scenario where she gets the last laugh on the stuff that she buys, decade from now. So
Yeah, she says, well, a girl like her is not going to blow up her account. That's not a thing.
Yeah.
I mean, that would
Right.
that would be a big problem if she blew up her account. So she has a chance to. She's going to win.
and
through the
they
arc of
they
time.
definitely they sell a lot of covered calls too. Like
Yeah.
they're heavy into they own so many shares that they find a way to move stuff around. But
I think that's what she's better at than actual investing is the management of positions versus
Yeah, exactly. And I've said for a long time that when a person or a stock becomes a big punchline, that start paying attention. That
yeah.
because there's a lot of traders who are better at memes than trading, and they'll pile in late to make fun of something that's about to turn around.
And I agree. I agree that you buy when the chips are low, or when it's at the worst.
Yeah.
And that was totally her in the last quarter of the year. People were just literally laughing at her.
Yeah.
And perfect, awesome. Well, good stuff, man. To be honest, P, I can't believe the start to the year we've had. I know I always say market conditions do dictate how good we are, but it is
Yeah.
one thing from being flipping good. And I've went through my focus notes and like read the room, and I'm like 7 on the year that are not up. And I mean, we're not only picking winners, like everything we're picking is trending the right way. And that's not easy to do when you're picking 40, 50 stocks a week.
No, yeah, and our shorts have done well too. I mean, it says something that I've stayed bearish on end phase even while the market's turning around, and then it fell from the 300s to 200s. So
yeah, no, you're dialed in, man. I don't know what else to say but proud, but man, you're dialed in. It benefits everybody in the room, and I hope you see that and take credit for that because yeah, and I know it sucks posting notes sometimes, and like you feel like no one's out there listening to you, but you see him. I see him coming in out of the woodwork right now. Like these guys know what they're doing, and it's just because we've stayed in this system for over a year now, and it's really it's 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 not. I won't say paying off because I think we have a long way to go, but it's
yeah,
proven that it's the right way.
yeah, no, I think so, and as like Twitter wise, the 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 option accounts I actually think are good. Notice what I do, and that's always good. And then it's so easy for me to spot the people who are clueless or scamming or whatever. So I'll continue to stay on that.
Yeah,
I'll pick
yeah,
some fights here and there
yeah,
when warranted.
yeah. No, and I know I talk about it a little bit, but I'm not worried about like that at all because I know there's gonna be one day where something we do sticks, and we'll have to turn people away if we stick to our original
Yeah,
plan. I mean, that's
yeah,
just what it's gonna be. So awesome, good stuff as always. I hope you have a good week. Keep this going. Um, yeah, notes as always.
yep. I'll be on it.
Awesome, good
Take
stuff.
care.
Thank you.